What's up guys, Brandon here with Gearist with another review preview. We've got some good stuff for you today, including some jackets, some helmets, some running shoes, so stay tuned for all. If you've got any questions, don't forget you can leave those down in the comment section or email info@gearist.com. And by all means, if you want to see all of our review previews, our actual reviews, all of our other series we've got going on, including Ask Gearist, don't forget to subscribe to this channel by clicking this button right here. Guys, if any of the products that we talk about today are available for sale right now, which some of them certainly are, be sure to check down the description of this video where we will try to find you guys buy links with some of the best prices, and those prices are subject to change because we're linking out to dynamic things that as a price drops, when you click over to it, it will show you a lower price. That really helps support Gearist, because every time you guys shop through any of the links that we put out there for you, whether it's Amazon, REI, Roadrunner, anything. I mean, Moose Jaw, competitive cyclists, all these things that help support Gearist, helps us be able to bring more and more things to you, more original content. So we really want to keep that going. And now let's get into it. The first thing we've got up is actually a bike helmet from Bollé, and this is their first real foray into the bike helmet universe. They've got a lot of cycling glasses and things like that, snow goggles that you guys are probably well aware of. But this guy, and ski helmets, which we've talked about before, but this guy is a bike helmet. Now what makes this so cool is that it is so versatile. It can be a commuter helmet, a road helmet, a mountain helmet, all these different things. These panels right here, these just pop off, make it a more traditionally vented, open road helmet like that. You've got brims that can slide on this. It also works really well with their glasses, which slide into these vent ports right there. So that's good times. It's in fact got, I'm not gonna take it off, but it's got this big clunk of stuff right here, which are like brims and different things like that. Really excited to get that going, so stay tuned. The next thing we have up is actually another helmet, and this is from Giro. This is called the Range, actually the Range MIPS, because you see that right there. It's a MIPS tag, which MIPS is multi-directional impact protection system, which basically means that when your head hits the ground, whether it's skiing or riding or what have you, it's rarely just a bonk, one and done. It's usually that you're getting hit from multiple directions, your head is flopping around in your neck, and the MIPS system works basically like there's an internal kind of thin shell which is right up against your head, and in this case right up against the padding, which is right up against your head. But then you have the shell of the helmet, the protective piece, the ABS piece, and this is allowed to go like this, so it means that there's less torsional force on your head. So really cool system. And what's really cool about the Range, one of my favorite things, is that traditionally in a ski helmet or a bike helmet, when you tighten something, you're tightening up a halo basically around the inside that is tightening like this. This uses a new system whereby if you see this seam right here, we've got our regular tension wheel, watch how this slides down. So see, it tightens by actually bending that plastic and making the whole entire thing fit around your head. Really cool helmet. I'm very excited. In fact, I'll be using this weekend. And staying with Giro, we've got a snow goggle from those guys, which I'm really excited about. This is called the Contact. The first thing I'll point out is that top venting goes exactly right in line with the venting on top of this. So when you're wearing them, one fits on top of the other, and that ventilation stays clean straight through the top of the helmet, which is really nice. Keeps you nice and ventilated. But here's the cool part about that, or this goggle, and that is how the lens changes out. If you go from a sunny condition to cloudy or vice versa, you want to swap that lens. And so one of the ways you can do that by pushing this button right here, we just go bonk, and the whole lens just pulls off just like that. It's like an eject button for your lens. And then you've got these small magnets that you can see, 1, 2, 3 across the top there, and then there are a couple on the bottom and around the nose. You just take it and slide it right back in there, and then you're locked back in. Super simple, super fast, and I really enjoy this. Again, this will be something utilized this weekend as I head out to ski. Next up, I'm going to show you a jacket. This is actually the Ruffle from Arcteryx. This is an insulated piece. It's got these really well placed vents so that when you go to unzip, as opposed to under the arm and having to futz with it, these are angled so it's easy to unzip and zip up and down rather. And then you've got seam sealed, it's got windstopper fabric on it. It's just a really great jacket. It is an insulated piece, so it is not a shell. It's meant to be worn as one, so on some of those colder days or some of those days where you just don't want to layer up, more of a front side piece. Helmet compatible hood. Whoa, there go the glasses. Helmet compatible hood, very comfortable. Liking this a lot. Next up, we've got 3 quick things from Buff or Boof, which is coming up very soon. One, we've got the original UV half buff right here. This guy is just not the full length buff. It's half, more sport, like a headband or something like that. Keep the hair out of your face. It's great also under cycling helmets, so I'm excited to be getting that to you guys. We've got the original buff right here, but it is a reflective version. You can see these elements right here and you can actually see it more on this person. Those reflective elements, so it is still dark out there. Some of the time the days are still shorter, even though spring is right around the corner. So being reflective, and even when it is summer, you still are probably going to be out when it gets dark sometimes. So definitely protect yourself, get a reflective piece of gear on. The final thing that I want to show you from Buff is actually a UV buff. It is one of their original pieces, and this is to celebrate the national parks, celebrating all different national parks, but in particular, I think they've got 6 different national parks. Grand Canyon, I want to say, Smoky Mountains, I think. But the one that we chose, obviously, because we're based here in Colorado, is the Rocky Mountain National Park. You can see that bighorn sheep right there, the Rocky Mountains in the background. So a very, very cool series of buffs, and you can obviously check those out at buff.com. Stay tuned. These will all be rocking out in one review very soon. Now for some running shoes. The first running shoe we've got today is actually something you've seen on our channel before, but we've not really reviewed it fully yet, and that is the Brooks Pure Flow 5. Now Steve from the series Steve Runs a Marathon, which if you just go ahead and click right here on the shoe, you can check out that whole series by Steve. Steve is training for his first marathon, and this is one of the shoes that he's been running in, and he'll actually have this review up on Monday, this coming Monday, which I want to say is like, today's the 28th maybe of March or February, so check that out. So the Brooks Pure Flow 5, I actually have a pair also, obviously, and I'm running in these. Very comfortable. It's I mentioned in our review of the Launch 3 that I wish there was something with a little less stack, still the same kind of pep, a little less stack, and a little bit lower drop, and this is exactly what Brooks recommended. So I'm excited to get into this and bring that full review to you guys. Steve will be doing the written review, and I, along with Steve's words from the written review, will be giving you guys the video review. So again, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Here's the next shoe. The next shoe is also from Brooks. This is the Brooks Neuro. Now, it looks kind of interesting with these guys here. You may have seen some of these pods like this. They may be slightly reminiscent of a Reebok shoe, slightly reminiscent of, I don't know, like a Nike Shock or something, but they're not supposed to act that way. So I haven't run in this yet, but this is definitely on the radar. You can see how flexible this guy is, really flexible. And in fact, you can see that's pretty much upper material right there. So really cool. I'm excited to bring this shoe to you guys. I'm excited to get into it, to be honest. I mean, it's gonna have a lot of kind of pep to it. I mean, I've walked around in a couple times, and I gotta say that that run faster, jump higher thing feels spot on. The final running shoe I want to tell you guys about today that is coming up very soon is the Raven Boost from Adidas. Now, I've got a couple runs in this, and I have to tell you that I'm liking it a lot. In fact, they've used that Continental rubber. I talked about it before in the Arcteryx Boost GTX. If you want to see that review, just click right here. The Arcteryx Boost GTX from Adidas was a little bit heavy. Some people considered it to be a fast hiker. I actually ran in it as well as hiked in it, and really loved, one of the things that stood out to me was the amount of stickiness, just how sticky that outsole was. And they were using Continental rubber that was modeled after a bike tire, and that is the same thing that they've done here with this. You can see they've got the Continental logo, the lugginess of this shoe. This is a badass trail runner. I have loved this so far, to be very honest with you. The downside that I have noticed is that it is a little bit tighter fit up here on the upper, so if you've got a wide foot, you're gonna have to look for a wide model, and I'm not sure if they've got a wide version of this. If they do, we'll definitely talk about it in the review. It fits snug. It fits like a stretch mesh, almost like a fly knit or something like that, like you would see in Nike. So you can futz with the laces and customize it a little bit like that. But the point is that this thing sticks. It's fairly lightweight. I mean, it's not super light, but it really handles trails very well. You got that boost foam in the rear foot here, and I am just really enjoying this shoe a lot right now. So look for that coming very soon. Guys, thank you so much for joining us in this review preview. Again, if you've got any questions about these products or anything, don't hesitate to go over to Gearist.com or send us an email at info@gearist.com, or follow us on all of our social media outlets, which you can see on my right, your left.